Hello, this is Mrs. Rycraft, and I'm going to talk to you today about Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare, one of the sonnets part of your anthology that you need to study for your GCSE in the summer. First thing I want you to do is to click on the link here and listen to the sonnet being read accurately. I want you to listen particularly carefully to the words that you find unfamiliar and understand the way that they're pronounced and listen to the way that the rhyme scheme works. Remember that poems are written to be heard, not just to be read. In fact, poems are written mostly to be heard and not to be read. They are a sound form of literature, just like song lyrics are, and you wouldn't write song lyrics just to read them off a sheet of paper. Pause this screencast while you listen to the YouTube video. Okay, so we're back. Sonnet 116 from Anthology C. Let's go. First thing I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about the poet. The poet himself, William Shakespeare, an Elizabethan poet, was extremely prolific. He wrote 36 plays and 154 sonnets. He was born in 1564 and he died in 1616. We celebrate his birth and death day on the same day as we celebrate St. George's Day. And it's somewhat ironic that the greatest poet and playwright of English literature has his day of celebration on the same day as the patron saint of England. We won't really go into that, but it's a little bit of interesting information. He married a lady called Anne Hathaway, not the actress, and they had 3 children together. He had a sonnet formed named after him because he wrote in a specific way, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But what do you really need to know? Really not that much biographical information. What you do need to know is that Shakespeare wrote sonnets about love, and some of them are thought to be to specific people. The other thing you need to know about William Shakespeare is he was writing for the people. So this is not a poem written for intellectuals. This is not a poem written for those of high knowledge. This is a poem written for everyday people to listen to and think about. So, Shakespearean sonnets. Told you we'd talk a bit more about this. Not all sonnets are like this. There are several other different forms, but Shakespearean sonnets in particular. 14 lines. They have 3 quartets and a couplet. Quartets are groups of 4 lines. A couplet is a group of 2. Line 9 often contains a turn, sometimes known as a volta, V-O-L-T-A, where the meaning or the message changes tone or changes direction. It's extremely difficult form to write well, and so to be able to do it with a good message and to do it successfully is an extremely skilled thing. If you've ever read Much Ado About Nothing, you'll know that Benedict has a lot of trouble writing decent sonnets to Beatrice, and she laughs in his face at the poor quality of his poetry. Shakespeare's sonnet have a rhyming scheme as detailed there. The last 2 lines are a rhyming couplet, so not just a couplet but a rhyming couplet, annotated by G.G. So here's the poem itself. Think about the way the rhyme scheme works, and I've annotated it on there for you so you can see exactly how it goes. Look where all the couplets are and look at how the division of 4 lines work. Think about how the rhyme scheme works and how the rhythm works. Read it to yourself and think over what you can hear as you read. So, next thing you need to do is mark the words that you really don't recognise. I'm going to go through a few of them with you, but mostly it's down to you to check out the words that you don't recognise, look them up in a dictionary, and have a good think about what William Shakespeare was trying to say. First word I want you to think about is the word admit. Let me not admit. Doesn't mean own up. Think about the cinema ticket. Admit 1. What it means is to let in or to allow to exist. If you have trouble remembering this, just visualise the ticket and it'll all come flooding back to you, promise. So let me not, to the marriage of true minds, admit impediment or impediments. Okay? I'm not going to allow in impediments, things that will get in the way, things that will impede the marriage of true minds. And look at the next quatrain. The word bark means boat. The word doom means the end of time or doomsday. And the ever-fixed mark is a beacon or a lighthouse or something that you can rely on to be sure and strong and to guide you. So if you look back at the quatrains again. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark whose worths are known, although his height be taken. It says that love is a certainty. Love is a constant. It's not shaken by storms, and it will guide even the smallest boat back home to where it should be. Now have a look for all the negativity. There's an awful lot of it. Okay, by my count, the word not's used 4 times, no twice, and never twice too. It's an awful lot of denial that Shakespeare's going through. One might even say, to quote Shakespeare himself, methinks he does protest too much. Consider why he's denying no, 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 not. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds. Oh no. Now look for the repetition. And think about what the repetition of different forms of the same word mean. When alter, when alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. What do they actually mean? It's kind of a tickle of inspiration in there, but think about what you think these words mean. Maybe these pictures will help a little bit. Is love the tape measure? Is love the nail varnish remover? How's it working here? Think about it. Love isn't like a cotton wool pad, soaking up the nail varnish remover to remove the nail varnish and change the look of the hand, or a sewing machine, adding a hem to take up those trousers so they don't drag along the floor. Love stays constant. It doesn't change to fit in with things. It doesn't alter to fit in with things. Now have a little look at the ending. A few things I want to draw your attention to. Thinking about upon me. It doesn't mean on me, like lay it on me. What it means is to me. The word writ is an old-fashioned tense for written. Nor and no is a double negative. You need to check that out from a linguistic point of view. So if he says, nor no man loved, does that mean that some man must have loved? When he says man, does he mean male or does he mean mankind? Does he mean human? These are all things you're going to have to think about with your English teacher, and these are things that you'll be exploring as you look deeper into the poem in class. Finally, what about the sea-based imagery? All that stuff in the second quatrain about guiding someone home and being a constant light. Have a little think about that. Why is he saying things like that? Think about the time that he lived in. Think about Walter Raleigh. Think about the great explorers of the day. Now, I've put the poem back together in my own way, just in order to help you think about what it actually means. This is by no means a definition or a definitive interpretation of the poem, but I'm hoping that this little piece will help you just to understand what Shakespeare was really getting at. And remember what I said at the beginning, he's not writing for the high-minded and for the intellectual. He's not writing for the clever clogses. He's writing for the everyday man. There were people who went to the theatre every single day. Those were the people he was writing for. It's popular entertainment. So have a little think about it and have a little read of it, and I wish you every success with your study of Sonnet 116.